The film opens with a man getting up from an accident, dazed and unsure of what just happened. He stumbles toward the main road, looking for help. A car approaches, but before it reaches him, it crashes off to the side. He rushes over to check and finds the driver already dead. He pulls out his phone and calls 911, but when asked for his name, he can't remember. He checks his wallet and sees his ID. His name is Liam. He sees a dead bird suddenly fall from the sky right in front of him. The air feels off, and nothing makes sense. Still shaken, he quickly decides to leave and rushes to a nearby cafe, hoping to find someone, but when he gets there, it's completely silent. Everyone inside is dead. He immediately thinks it might be a deadly airborne virus that killed them all. Panicking, he tears off a piece of his shirt and covers his mouth. He looks at a map, trying to make sense of the area, and eventually manages to find his way back home, but when he knocks on the door, there's no answer. He waits, growing more anxious, but still unable to remember anything. Frustrated and desperate, he finally decides to break into his own house. He's still unable to remember anything. As he walks through the house, a brief image flashes in his mind. He sees himself resting on a boat. With the thought of a possible airborne virus still in his head, he takes no chances and reseals the broken window he came through. Then, through the window, he notices a man standing just outside his home. Caught off guard, he panics and rushes to find something to warn him. He grabs a board and quickly writes a message, hoping to get the man's attention, but it's already too late. Before he can do anything more, the man suddenly drops dead right there in front of the house. After witnessing the man collapse, he tries to make sense of what's happening. He starts thinking through everything: the dead bird, the cafe, the driver, and now this. He questions why everyone else is dying, yet he's still alive. He sees a live bird just outside. Curious and cautious, he decides to approach it, hoping it might mean things are changing. But as he gets closer, the bird suddenly drops dead right in front of him. He's now certain he might be the cause of all the death around him. With that in mind, he starts avoiding everyone, keeping his distance from any living thing, afraid he might kill again just by being near. He starts measuring how close things can get to him before dying, trying to figure out what the safe range is around himself. In an attempt to protect others, he seals himself in a wooden shed, hoping isolation will keep anyone from dying because of it. But then, the cop starts knocking at his house, looking for him. He hides, terrified of what might happen if she gets too close. Just as the officer approaches, a dead bird suddenly falls in front of her, showing the same symptoms as the others. Startled, she hesitates, then quickly decides to leave, realizing the danger and the dead around them. That night, he's suddenly jolted awake by a vivid memory of crashing his car. Still disoriented, he looks out the window and sees someone standing outside. He tries to warn her, shouting for her to stay away, but she keeps getting closer, seemingly unaffected. Confused and unsure, he finally opens the door for her. As she steps inside, she reveals that she was in the truck with him during the accident, though neither of them can remember anything about it or their identities. She followed the truck's registration to find him, but she has no belongings with her. They both go inside Liam's house, and it quickly becomes clear that he doesn't appear to live with a woman. Together, they start searching through the house, hoping to find anything that might help trigger their memories. The house is taped up, a precaution from initial concerns about a virus, though it's now been ruled out. As they search, Liam suddenly remembers he was at Smith Bird and Oakdale Bridge. They find a map and, when they look at it, realize they were both near Smithburg and Oakdale at the time of the accident. They decide to head to the location, hoping to find any details that could help them understand what happened. On the way, the woman finally introduces herself as Jane Doe, still unsure of her real identity. They arrive at the location, but nothing looks familiar. Both admit they still don't remember anything. As they talk, Jane shares a fragmented memory from her childhood, an incident at a mall. Liam tries to reassure her, telling her that her memories aren't gone. Jane then recalls throwing something into the water at the bridge, possibly papers. They both wonder why they were even there in the first place. Liam then suggests going back to the crash site to see if anything was left behind. They decide to drive back to the crash site, hoping for answers. When they arrive, they notice a large, black, unknown circle burned into the ground, heavily damaged, but not by fire. Liam stares at it and suddenly remembers being struck by lightning. Then he turns to Jane and reveals a harsh truth: he was the one responsible for all the deaths. He explains how people would die just by getting close to him, and that's why he had sealed himself in the shed, to keep everyone safe. But now, he believes that whatever caused it is gone. Jane is horrified. She backs away slightly, trying to process it all. She questions how she can even be safe around him and is clearly upset that he waited this long to tell her. Suddenly, an officer spots Liam and approaches. The officer tells Liam he needs to come with him. As Jane steps back and starts to walk away from the scene, the officer suddenly collapses, dead, just like the others before. Liam tries to reason with her, desperate to explain that they still need to figure out what's happening to them. They start experimenting on themselves, testing distance and movement, and through this, they realize the deaths only occur when Jane is far enough away from Liam. Her presence somehow stops it from happening. Jane suggests going to a hospital in another county to get tests done, maybe a CT scan, since she's also dealing with memory loss. Despite the risks of being around others, they agree it's important to understand what's happening to them. They arrive at the hospital, keeping their distance from people as much as possible. When it's time for Liam's CT scan, Jane insists on staying close to him the entire time. While they're still at the hospital, a news report airs on a nearby TV. It reveals that the police have identified Liam as a suspect in the string of mysterious deaths. Another body was also discovered at his home. Authorities now consider him armed and dangerous. As soon as they hear this, Liam and Jane realize they can't stay. They need to flee immediately. As they run from the hospital, Jane spots a missing poster on a wall. Seeing it triggers a memory. She suddenly recalls that the paper she threw from the bridge was also a missing poster. Before she can say more, Liam gets separated from her. Realizing the danger, Jane tries to get as close to him as possible to prevent the people around them from dying. They manage to regroup just in time and escape together. Eventually, they find a quiet place far from anyone where they can rest for the night. It's isolated enough to feel safe, giving them a moment to breathe and gather their thoughts after everything that's happened. The next morning, while sitting in the car, a news report plays on the radio. It announces that police are still searching for Liam and reveals Jane's real identity as Rose Darewood. The report includes a recording of her husband, Sam Darewood, pleading for her to come home. Hearing this, Jane starts considering the idea of meeting Sam, hoping it might trigger more memories and help them figure out what's going on. Liam objects not because of Sam, but because he believes he's too dangerous to be near anyone. He doesn't want to risk hurting more people. But Jane insists. She wants Liam to come with her because she's unsure about Sam. Jane meets with Sam. He's clearly relieved to see her but also confused and overwhelmed by the situation. When he sees her with Liam, the man being reported as dangerous, he hesitates, unsure of what's going on. Jane manages to calm him down, convincing him to get in the car so they can talk. Jane tries to explain everything to Sam, the memory loss, the strange deaths, and Liam's condition. But Sam doesn't believe her. He thinks the whole story is insane and suspects that Liam has manipulated or brainwashed her. With no other option, Liam is forced to demonstrate his deadly ability right in front of him. The reality hits Sam hard. He finally agrees to help them and offers a place where they can hide. They begin planning their next steps and agree to try contacting a researcher or scientist who might help them understand Liam's condition. Sam offers to act as a middleman to avoid exposing Liam. For now, they decide to lay low and wait for the media attention to calm down. To help erase any trace, Sam mentions he knows someone at a scrapyard who can get rid of their car. Then, Liam and Jane come across a missing person poster with her picture, but the name on it isn't Rose Darewood. It says Lily Grayson. When Sam returns, the truth unravels. Lily is Jane's, or Rose's, sister, and she's been missing for over a year. Sam explains that the disappearance deeply affected Jane, putting serious strain on their marriage. She became withdrawn and depressed. Rose explains that the real reason she was at the bridge that night was because she had been overwhelmed with depression from Lily's disappearance and had gone there to end her life. But Liam had shown up just in time and stopped her. He managed to calm her down and convinced her not to go through with it. He offered to take care of her. She tells Liam that they didn't know each other before that night. Sam remains suspicious of Liam and starts demanding answers: who he really is, how he came into Rose's life, and why she trusts him so much. There's clear frustration and jealousy in his tone, especially seeing how close Rose and Liam have become. She calmly reiterates that she doesn't remember him. Liam spots a picture on the wall. Something about it triggers a memory. After the night at the bridge, he had taken Jane up north, to a place far away from anyone, just to help her calm down and get some peace. Liam quickly locates the place, since it's also a good spot to hide. Sam offers to take them there. They discuss the risks of staying in a populated area, with the police actively searching for them. Liam says he and Jane will go alone, but Sam disagrees. They argue over whether Sam should stay behind as a link to the outside world, someone who can explain their absence and avoid raising suspicion. Sam is upset at being left out of the plan, and the tension builds further with his growing jealousy over Jane's connection with Liam. Suddenly, the situation escalates. Sam came back and revealed that he called the cops and told them everything, thinking the police could help. The police arrive, and chaos breaks out. They rush in, ignoring everything Sam tries to explain about the situation. They attempt to take Liam and Jane into custody. Jane pleads desperately for them not to be separated, knowing what could happen if they're apart. But the police ignore her and take them away separately. As they are taken away from each other forcefully, the police and the people surrounding them suddenly collapse and die instantly. Liam and Rose realize the gravity of the situation and decide to flee. As they escape, Sam arrives at the aftermath, shaken by what happened. He insists on staying behind to explain everything to the authorities and make it clear that it wasn't their fault. They flee to the place as planned to hide. Settling in, they discuss their worries about the situation, unsure if there's any hope for a cure. Feeling overwhelmed, Liam decides to take a walk to clear his head. Meanwhile, Rose stays inside and begins looking through the house, eventually coming across a journal. In the journal, she finds more missing person notes and several missing posters, including one of her sister. A sudden memory hits her. She remembers that night, the night when Liam somehow knew about her sister, even though she had never mentioned her. His behavior that night had seemed strange. At the same time, Liam has a flash of memory, a glimpse of a terrified woman, clearly kidnapped. Jane suddenly realizes the truth. She remembers being terrified in the car, desperately telling Liam to stop, but he wouldn't. The tension between them escalated into a fight as they sped down the road. During the chaos, the car crashed and flipped, and in that moment, Liam revealed his psychotic side. But amid the chaos and the struggle, a lightning strike hit both of them, causing the strange and deadly phenomenon they now face. Now, Liam and Jane finally understand the reason behind everything. Jane, holding a gun, finds Sam and confronts him, fully intent on ending his life after learning what he did to her sister. Her hands tremble as she aims, fury and grief overwhelming her. But after everything they've been through, she can't bring herself to pull the trigger. Sam stands silently, drowning in guilt. Suddenly, a group of people finds them and confronts them, recognizing both Liam and Jane. Fueled by what they've heard in the news about Liam being a murderer, the group is furious and ready to kill him. Jane tries to calm them down but fails to stop the chaos. As the crowd moves in, Liam instinctively steps back, and just like before, everyone around him starts dying instantly. In the final moments, one of them manages to fire a shot, hitting Jane before collapsing. Liam quickly rushes Jane to the hospital, knowing the police are searching for them everywhere. But to save her, he decides to take the risk, ignoring the danger to himself. As the nurses rush in and take Jane away to help her, Liam stays behind, watching silently. Overwhelmed by guilt, and fully aware of the danger he poses to everyone around him, he makes the decision to end his own life, believing it's the only way to stop the harm he's caused.